Welcome, ladies and gents, to Birmingham as we play Birmingham City in today's game. Now, we are, of course, not at St Andrews quite yet because, well, we're going to go hang out at a bit of ghetto golf. But before we crack on with today's game, we do have a couple of games to catch up on, so let's hop into Football Manager. After losing last time out to recently relegated Fulham, we then headed into the Carabao first round to take on League 2 side Oldham. However, after going 2-0 up, Jonathan Woodgate's men found a way to it up in an all too familiar fashion for fans like Chris the Butcher. Firstly, thanks to a Phillips goal before Goss equalised from the spot on the back of a Jenkinson 1 penalty, which then saw us head to a penalty shootout, and after Hercules lacked the strength to open the scoring, Goss, Zimba, Phillips and then the legendary Berahino all scored back-to-back to win this one 4-2 in the shootout. Next up, we then welcomed Rooney and the Rams to York, where we fell to a simple 1-0 victory in the end. Okay, so with our first two games of the season out of the way, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a little look at our season preview. Now, I know this has changed just a little bit. I'll mention the little change that I noticed in just a second. So let's head on over to the season let's head on over game to the season preview. Now, as you can see, Fulham, who we versed in the first episode, recently relegated, expected to be in 4th. I would say maybe even 3rd. Maybe 2nd or 1st. I don't know quite how good Leeds or Bournemouth are from our games. I would say Leeds is definitely expected to win the league. Bournemouth, I'm assuming, has got a pretty decent side. And Fulham, we've seen pretty good as well. Expected to dominate us, did dominate us, and well, considering we got 2 players sent off, I'm not surprised as well. We then have Derby County. They are expected to be 8th, Rooney and the Rams, and well, they only managed to beat us 1-0. Now, it was at home, which is a little bit disappointing, but I think that was a pretty good account of ourselves. Very 50-50 game against 8th in the league. I think that's pretty good for us, especially considering we are 300-1 to win the league and expected to be slap bang bottom, no chance of survival. I think we do have a little bit of a chance. Now, we are quite a bit away from Peterborough, 50-1, but we're nearer than we was before. When the season initially started, I believe it was 400-1. We're now 300-1, so it's not too bad. But we do need to pick up things here today, because as you can see, Birmingham is expected to be 16th, and although they're not in the relegation scrap automatically, Barnsley, Millwall, Hull, Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday all expected to be battling for the top end of the relegation zone. Birmingham is along with Luton, Swansea and Bristol City in that next group of teams who might get dragged down into it. So if we can pick up a victory, we can drag them into the mess and hopefully drag ourselves out of it. But before we crack on with today's game, we do have some news to catch up on from last episode, as well as a transfer. We're going to dive straight into that transfer because I noticed it almost gave it away. Thankfully, I came to the screen, scrolled it down just a little bit, and our brand new addition is a star striker. As you can see, we brought him in on a free transfer, and yes, I am going to change his name because I'm going to butcher it every single day. So Yaku Meaty, as I'm going to call him, or as I'm going to refer to him, Big Girthy Meat is going to be his brand new name. We're not going to do that quite yet. As you can see, he's valued at 6.4 million to 8.2. I can't believe I got this guy in a free transfer. He's very similar to Williams, likes to play on that right wing, can play as a striker, but as you can see, he's got 12 finishing. He's going to be coming in for Samuel Vokes. Now, if we drop this down to deep line playmaker, what Vokes has, of course, been playing on. His first touch, not quite there, it's an 8. He's got 12 finishing though, like I've said, passing 10, could be a little bit better, but his technicals, anticipation 9, composure 9, decision 8, is on the edge. He's a pretty decent player though. We can get him working. We'll figure out how to get him working at his best. Worst case, he goes on the right wing. Williams goes up front. But I think we're going to be playing with both of them. Williams, of course, isn't going to be playing here today because, well, he went and got himself suspended. Now, in terms of player traits, he shoots with power, knocks ball past opponents, cuts inside from the right-hand wing. He's balanced. He's got some strength. But Where is Big Gaffy Meat from? Well, we got our Big Gaffy Meat from Atlanta United. Yes, the United States of America. They picked him up on a free transfer from Reading in 2024, where he was playing pretty decent in the Championship. 4 goals in 16 games, 3 in 16 the season before, and 5 in 11 the season before that. Prior to that, he even got 12 in 25, 13 in 40, and 12 in 37. He was on loan in France prior to that, and the season before, not so good. They bought him from PSG, in fact, in 16-17 for an undisclosed fee. Only scored 1 goal in 14 after playing 1 game for Paris Saint-Germain. So, he's not a bad little striker. I am, of course, going to go change his name, but let's head on over to the notebook and let's have a little look at some news I forgot about last episode. Okay, so I think I was a little bit too harsh on myself in the last segment. I didn't really forget these things. It's more of a case of, much like our new striker, it was big and Gaffy that last episode, and we couldn't quite fit it all in our little hole. Yes, nice little euphemism there for you. But first of all, on our news here in the notebook, Adiapan is happy to stay at the club. Very up and down Adiapan. Some days he decides he wants to leave, some days he wants to stay. And well, he's decided he wants to stay. A little bit of news that I should have really tried to squeeze in last episode, but couldn't. Goss had some developmental concerns. Now, those developmental concerns came, of course, because Sorensen arrived, but I decided to have a little talk with him, and that was enough for him. Didn't even have to tell him anything. He was just happy the fact that I went to him, discussed the matter with him, and well, he's probably going to have a little bit more game time than he expects. Because, well, as you can see from the bottom, Sorensen did pick up a bruised ankle. Now, he did play in that last game, and he was okay. He wasn't too bad. I did end up subbing him off eventually, of course, for Goss, who is sitting on our bench waiting to come on. We then have Jenkinson, who dropped his lack of concern for his playing time, and that is for the simple fact that, well, he got a little bit of game time in the Carabao Cup. Didn't do a whole lot. Ended up subbing him off, I believe, in that one, but because he played in that, he was happy. So, without further ado, let's head on over to the dressing room and let's crack on with today's game against Birmingham. Okay, ladies and gents, can you allay my fears? Big Gaffy Meat's arrival will affect my playing time. Ian Hall, first of all, you're a youngster, you've just turned up, you're lucky to even be battling it out to be in the starting lineup. I didn't bring Big Gaffy Meat in for you to be moved out of the way by the Big Gaffy Meat. No, the Big Gaffy Meat is for my pleasure, not for your displeasure. Don't worry, the Big Gaffy Meat isn't going to be in your way, Hall. He's going to be up front. You're going to be passing it to him. You're going to be chilling on the bench still. You haven't got anything to worry about the Big Gaffy Meat, except feeling a little bit bad about the size of yours. He's not coming in to take playing time away from you. Relax. He's coming in to take away playing time from Samuel Vokes, who we spent a lot of money on last year and broke a record transfer that year. But without further ado, let's crack on with today's game before I get any more messages about our brand new Big Gaffy Meat. Okay, ladies and gents, before we jump into today's game, let me just go over a little bit of brand new news that I'll forget about if I don't say it now. So, Jackson decided he wants to go out on loan due to a lack of game time, and to be fair, that's pretty reasonable of him to ask. He's become more of a fringe player. He's expected to be an impact sub. Unfortunate for him, Southend is interested. Unfortunately, though, can't give him the required game time that he wishes, and, well, they can't afford his wage either. And, well, that reminded me of 3 players who have gone out. Now, you might have noticed them when we've been on the transfer screen, but for those who didn't, well, Chanza, Byrne, and Ollie Dyson. Ollie Dyson? No, that's a different player. Greg Ollie. Them 3 are all out on loan. I'm not going to go over their specific clubs, but the 3 of them are out on loan. Going to develop a little bit more. I believe Greg Ollie is probably a player we're going to be letting go at the end of the season. I can't quite remember if his contract's 1 or 2 years left on it, but it's coming towards the end. We're probably going to let him go. He's a non-league player. He's a solid non-league player, but just not good enough for us anymore. But enough rambling. We are, of course, away at Birmingham. We then have Hull City away at Blackburn. Bournemouth is against Luton. Who else is down in our scrap? scrap. Swansea against Derby County. Derby hopefully can pick the victory there. We then have Fulham. Hopefully they can beat Middlesbrough, who's on a nice little bit of form. They've won their first 2 games of the season. Sunderland against Forest. Peterborough's taking on Portsmouth. That's a big one because those two are expected to be in the scrap with us. And Sheffield Barnsley, that could be an interesting one as well. So Sheffield Barnsley, Peterborough, Portsmouth, the 2 games we really want to be keeping an eye on here today. Now, 24th versus 18th. Opposition instructions, we shall apply them. Perfect pitch condition here today. 23,358 tickets being sold out of 30,016 capacity. 14 degrees Celsius and calm. They are going for the exact formation we are. And as you can see, the big Geffy meat has been slid right in there. So, our team for today is Georges in goal. Yes, I'm going to start calling our goalkeeper now. Georges. No. George in goal. A backline of Fleming, Terry, Adiapan and Titov. In central midfield is Rowley and Sorensen. On the wings is Lubala and Halls with Byers in between. Don't know why I called him Halls. It's just Hall. Anyway, big Geffy meat up front. Exactly where you want it. Now, as you can see, I've made him a pressing forward. That is because he prefers that a little bit more to the deep line playmaker role. Hopefully he'll be all good up there. Our bench consists of Prisbeck, Jenkinson, Shipley, Goss, Lawless, Berahino and Vokes. We are going for a cautious mentality. We're away from home. We're expected to get slapped about a little bit, but this is a game we've got a good chance in, so I think cautious is a pretty reasonable approach. We're probably going to use that for the majority of the season. When we're versus the big lads, I think we might go defensive. I might even try 5 out the back. I might try 3 central defenders, bring Shipley back in, have Terry, Shipley and Adiapan along with Fleming and, depending if he's available, Klein, I guess, but Titov if not. But let's submit the team. By the way, both of our suspended players, Williams and Klein, have both picked up an extra day. Originally, it looked like they weren't going to get given suspensions for the Derby game, which was a bit odd. 2 days before, we then got the news. Both of them have extensions to that. So they've got 2 games out. So after today's game, we should be back in action, back for the next episode in fact, because what we're going to do is we're going to skip over the misery of the Carabao Cup. We ended up getting Leicester in the Carabao Cup. I'm going to use our B team against them because the focus for us is staying up in the Championship. So the B team is going to verse Leicester in the Cup between episodes. We're not going to watch that one. We are going to come back possibly for a double header. We're at least going to be playing Middlesbrough at home. I think Peterborough as well in a double header is what I'm planning on doing in that one, but I'll figure it out as we go forward. Right now, we want to get a bit of motivation into the lads. The pressure's all on them. Let's go cause an upset. Lubala's ready to cause an upset. Unfortunately, nobody else is. So let's do this. The Sheffield game, by the way, is kicking off late, so we can't really keep an eye on that one, but we can keep an eye on the Peterborough game. So, Byers going to pull it back for Titov. Titov, where's he going to go with this one? He goes across to Will Adiapan. Adiapan expects to be at a bit of bigger club. Well, show that by putting in some good performances. Ball over the top to Titov, plays it inside to Hall. Can Hall make use of it? Across to Byers. Come on, lads! It's an opener 5 minutes in here at St Andrews. What a beautiful start to this game. A game we really do need to be trying to pick up points in. And we've cracked off to a great start here today. Stoke also is off to a great start, and I've lost my mouse. They're 1-0 up against QPR. So, up to 15th. Can we stay there? Probably not, as we've already slid down to 16th in the seconds I said that. But it's a ball across to Hall. Hall, can he pull it back? Perhaps you've got Titov behind you. That would be the suggestion. Instead, he's going to whip it himself. Byers, nicely linking up them two thus far. Nodded away, though. Fleming will get it. Plays it inside to Rowley. Rowley, crossfield to Hall. Hall chests it down. Can he get a good cross in? He's got a decent one in last time. Whips it in. Lubala, back post. Come on, Lubala. Yes, come on, Lubala. Verily. Lubala got me so excited, I almost forgot his name. As you can see, our fans stuck in that corner, happy and jubilant. A lot of blue around here, but that one section of red in a great spot. See Lubala crack it against the post, then follow up with his left foot, cross the goal and poke it home. Now, our big Geffy meat hasn't slid one in there quite yet, but it's okay. The surrounding has gone and done the effort so far. And, well, Speaking of surrounding, they are on the edge of our box. Rogic is going to play it back to Colin on the halfway line. Now up to Pollock, not going to call him that, but Pollock is going to play it back to Colin, the Caterpillar. It's now Illick on this right-hand side. Pulls it back to the Caterpillar. More now coming down the right-hand side. Please, sir, can we have some more? More? Yes, more. We want more goals. Give us more. Not at this end, though. Franklin on the left-hand side. Pulls it back for Baba. Baba whips it in. Adebayo, though. Over the bar and far away. Totally come out to play. George, short to Will Adipan. Now back to George. Terry. Where is Terry Folds going to go with this one? Ball up. Gives it away. The Pollock nods it down, and it's Adebayo from range. That was a scary one. Rather scary. Thankfully didn't amount to anything. As you can see, everyone right now is putting in a performance. Love to see it. Love to see it. Ball up though. Roddick going to play it across to Illick. Illick now across to Franklin on this left-hand side. He's going to chest it down, turns back, passes it back to Ashimeru. Ashimeru up to Franklin. Franklin, of course, key in the GTA 5 series. It's nodded away by Fleming, though. More, please, sir. Gets it across to Illick. Illick now turns, passes it to Ashimeru. Ashimeru through to Franklin. And Franklin has poked one in the bottom right-hand corner. That was a decent finish, to be fair, from Paul Franklin. Little bit disappointing that we gave that one up. 23 minutes in, though, it's 2-1. It's looking better than expected, but it's also now looking rather scary as Moore whips one in. Pollock! Okay. We'll sell for a 2-1. Peterborough, by the way, also got themselves 2-1 at the moment against Portsmouth. Bournemouth, by the way, doing us a favour, beating Luton 2-0. We've got Bristol City 1-1 with Ipswich. If Ipswich could grab an extra goal in that one, that would be nice. Derby County's doing us a favour, beating Swansea 1-0 as well. But we head into half-time, ladies and gents. Now, possession-wise, we have been lacking 37%. But you know what? 4 and tagging out of 5, our finishing conversion has been pretty darn nice. So, you know what, lads? Bit of passion, pump fists. I think we're doing well. We can definitely find another gear. Yes, we can. Big Geffy meet down to a 6-5. Come on, get it up, Big Geffy. Get it up. Same with you, Brandon. 6-4. I want to see you get it up. Or not. Or not. Phrasing, my friend. Phrasing. But Middlesbrough has gone 1-0 up against Fulham. Okay, Fulham. A little disappointed in you. You beat us. Don't be giving points away to the likes of Middlesbrough, please. West Brom, by the way, beating Leeds United 1-0 as well. Nottingham Forest 1-0 up. Millwall's beating Reading. Interesting. So, who is struggling? We've got the Big Geffy Meat is having a rough one up there. Bit too much friction. It's hurting him. Maybe you need some lube next time. Sam Vokes is going to go up there instead. We've got Hall on the yellow card. Do I want to risk Hall on the yellow card? Probably not. Sorensen, though, is lacking a bit of fitness. So Sorensen off for the Goths. I think that's what we're going to go with right now. We'll hold on to that third sub for when someone's really tired. Bring them on. Pollock right now. We are going to hover over that. Byers, by the way, is really tired right now. So maybe Byers is the next one. We do need to get a third goal, though. If we can get a third goal, it'd be nice. We can get Byers off. We can rest him up. Hall turns, passes it to Titov. I'm also worried about us getting a player sent off, though. We had 2 sent off in the first episode. Don't really want another one sent off now. Darlow, though, will collect the ball as he plays it up to Baba. Baba over to Pedersen. Pedersen to Baba. It's now back to Pedersen. Over to Darlow. He finds Pollock. Pollock up to the wing. Wing, in fact, not on the wing, though. He's in the centre, which is a little bit confusing, but he does a nice little 1-2 with Pollock. It's now over to Palmer, who is on the wing, who plays it inside to Ashimeru, back to Baba and Pedersen. They're just playing triangles. They are just boosting their possession stats. They're not really doing a whole lot back here. Hall, though. And again, down to 10 men, unless the ref is going to show us a bit of leniency. Hall. You was worried about him coming in to replace you. If you keep doing that, he will come in to replace you. Now, Lubala, can you drop deeper? Yes, you can. Do we have someone who could play on this right-hand side? Lubala, can you play at right mid? Yes, you can. You can play right mid. You're right-footed. That's okay. You know what, Lubala? Oh, Jesus, the game has started back up. I hate when it does that. Right. Buyers, come back here. Berahino, you can go over there. Bit of a risky one. In fact, do we have anyone who can play over here? Brandon can move up there. You know what? We won't bring Berahino on. We'll bring on Shipley. Because Shipley can drop back to left back. Fleming can go up there. Fleming can be a winger on support. You can be a winger on support. We're going to go 4-4-1. You know, the good old classic 4-4-2, just missing a striker. We're going to try and route one it up to Samuel Vokes. Fleming's going to intercept it, plays it back to Terry, and now it's up to Vokes. Across to Lubala. Lubala, of course, making one of his last plays. Hopefully it's a big one as he comes down this left-hand side. He's got past one. Turns, tries to get it across to Vokes, but Pedersen will be there to intercept it. Now it's played back to Darlow. In fact, there is something else we're going to do. We're going to waste a bunch of time. So, we can't waste time when we're not in possession, right? Wasting time. Plenty of wasting time. Let's go for that. Maybe we'll even go defensive. Maybe that's a little bit too much though. Baba coming down this right hand side. Ball into Palmer. Adiapan, lovely interception though. Gets it to Titov. Titov now up to Samuel Vokes. Samuel Vokes now on an island though. Wing plays it up to Palmer. Palmer's broken through our defence. Thankfully though, nice little block there, I believe, from Titov. The ball goes over. So Shipley on for Byers. We're going defensive. We're building the wall. Let's get our Donald Trump on. Build the wall. Healy now turns, passes it into Palmer. Oh, please tell me that sending off is not going to come back to bite us on the backside. Lads, just go very defensive. Build the wall. Build the wall. Build the wall. This game was in our hands. It was in our hands. And Hall snatched it away from us. After moaning that we might drop him, he's gone and got himself suspended anyways. Aye. Titov back to George. Thankfully, Williams will be returning over there. But I'm not amused. I am not amused at all by Hall going to get himself sent off. George is going to hoof it up though. Fleming tries to run onto the end of it, and that was just a waste. Don't know why we're hoofing it up like that. Just roll it out, my friend. Just roll it out. Tap it between our defenders. In fact, I should really check that. I should check if our goalkeeper's set to kick it, because it seems wasteful to do that. But it's over to Moore as Birmingham look for more. Wing in the centre though, plays it up to Colin, up to Healy, nodded down for more. Please, sir, no more. No more. Also, definitely no more on the yellow cards. Please do not send off Rowley. Please, I beg you. I beg you. Right. So, play for set pieces? No. In transition. Distribute to centre back. Why are we hoofing it up here? Don't take long kicks. Throw it long, roll it out. Roll it out. Don't be doing this hoofing it up the pitch, malarkey. We need roll out. I haven't put roll out on for a while. I should have added on. And it's going to come back to bite us as we're bottom of the table right now. Colin throws it into Healy. Back to Colin. He finds Wing. Wing on the edge. Oh my days, lads. Well, we're going to have to go attacking. Oh, wait. Wait. What did I... No, it is going to count. I thought that said it wasn't going to count for some weird reason, but we're going attacking. We're going to move Lubala up onto the wing. Fleming needs to move up now. We need to try and push for goals. So, we have to get out of this time-wasting malarkey. This is such a shame. Pollock nods it up to Moore, back to Colin. Colin inside to the wing. And now a free kick. Okay. Please, George, save it. Save us, George. Let's get someone going at the... Hall. Ian Hall. I will find you. I will find you, Ian Hall. Partly because you're my player and you're going to be in the dressing room at the end of this game. And I would run. I would definitely run. Because Hall... we was in control of this game. And then you went and got yourself sent off. 30 minutes. And it's all undone. Look at that. 2-0 up. They pulled one back. We got into half-time with a 2-1 lead. We was playing decent. As you can see, our possession even got better. 43%. Ian Hall, though, 60th minute, goes and gets himself a yellow card. Then 67th minute, goes, I'm going to get myself sent off. And, well, Palmer then went and got himself a 73rd minute goal to tie things up. Then the pain and misery on the 87th and 89th minute to make it a 4-2 loss. That's a tough one. Very tough one. Hopefully, though, we've got the resilience to bounce back in the next episode. I thank you all for joining us. Hopefully, you all have a lovely night. And goodbye.
12 seconds later.
Okay, Planet Sport, we love to see that bit of news, even if we don't love to see the result of today's episode.